Hey Yoni tribe, welcome to another episode of Touch My Yoni. As some of you may have noticed, I've been gone for quite a while, and that's just because I kind of had a really bad bout of acne since I moved to London, and I wanted to come back when my skin got better and I felt more confident and it's not exactly where I want it to be. It has gotten better, but I figured, you know what, I have so many things to talk about, things that are of importance, topics that just people have been asking me to speak on, and one of them is how to buy toys as a first-time beginner, as someone who doesn't really use it or hasn't used it before and would like to introduce it into the bedroom. What are the things to look out for? And then on the other end of the spectrum, I've been getting asked how I have managed to cover up my acne, because some people didn't even realize that I had it. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not a makeup artist, but let me do a 2-in-1 because I think that'll make it a soft landing back into the YouTube world. So let's get into it. First thing, or the first step rather, that I tell people to consider is what you enjoy about sex in the bedroom. Do you like clitoral stimulation? Do you like penetration? Do you like a combination? That's always my first go-to question when people ask me what sex toys they should buy, because I just feel like you almost want to emulate that. So once you've established what it is that you enjoy, try and find a toy that aligns with, that. Like I said, you would like to emulate it. So it's something that you kind of just have to remember. I guess that's where all these different steps come in, because it's not something you just kind of jump into. You have to plan it, or rather prep for it, so that you're buying the right thing and you're not wasting your money. Step 2, which could actually be step 1 as well, I always say, think about why you want it. Is it something that you want to spice up the bedroom? Is it that you want to enjoy a different type of sex with your partner? And if it is with a partner, include your partner in this conversation, because you'll both be utilizing it and it would have to work for both of you, and you might have different desires. So make sure that you are aware of what it is that you are looking for when you start step 3, which is research, because you have to know what you're looking for. And if you do have a partner and you want to try and introduce it to your partner, just always remember that you have to kind of, enroll. You have to kind of enroll your partner into this idea of bringing sex toys into the bedroom, and that requires a lot of trust. So talk to one another and be sure to be honest. If it's just for yourself, then that's easy. You just figure out why you want it. So I just put the lighter concealer at the bottom, and then the one that kind of blends into my skin a little bit more on the top, just to shape the top, because my eyebrows, everything is wild right now. My nails, my hair, my eyebrows, because I'm going on a trip soon, so I want to do everything closer to the time. And then I use the same color concealer that I would have used on top of my red marks to kind of blend that in, and I just kind of go over that so it is not so red against my very pale skin. Step 3, I always say, research according to your needs and desires. You've established what you want, you've involved a partner if you are partnered, and now you have to basically research accordingly. There's internal stimulation, there's external stimulation, and there's toys that go accordingly, and then there's toys that do both internal and external simultaneously. So you have to figure out what it is, and this is kind of how you narrow it down according to in order to figure out what works for you in particular. Another thing to consider is your budget. Just because it's more expensive doesn't necessarily mean that it's best. So just be sure to always go according to your needs and not what seems the biggest or the most expensive. Also, another thing to consider is size. Start small. You're better off starting small and then gradually increasing in size depending on your needs. And don't always think that it's the same that applies with human beings. Like sex with a human being and sex toys are very, very different. That's why it's not a competition. Like, it literally is just an addition to the bedroom or a necessity depending on your orientation. Sometimes it's gender affirming. So like, there's different reasons that people would consider getting sex toys. You obviously would have figured out what your requirements or why you're getting it, and then thereafter you just kind of make sure that you have thought about what fits best into your budget. Another thing to think about, or rather to ensure, is to be honest with yourself. Like, don't play it down for yourself. It's so much different when you are dealing with you, because it's so much easier to just kind of deceive somebody else, but you know the truth. You know the truth. You know what's going to work for you. You know what's not going to work for you. You know why you're doing something. Just be honest with yourself. You don't want to ruin your experience of it for good, because sex toys are a good thing. Sex toys are enjoyable. They're fun. They're great. Okay, so I use my color corrector as cream blush as well. I put that like on the outskirts. Then I use my medium concealer, and then last thing, my lightest one on the inner corners. Kind of let that sit. As you saw, also I put contour. The most important thing that I think maybe should be the first thing that you consider is going in there with an open mind. Like, don't have too drastic of expectations in terms of what you want to get out of it, because if you do, you will get disappointed, or your idea of what you expected will not be what it actually is. You'll never really know, and people's bodies react differently to different toys. So if you go there with the expectation of it being one way and it's not that way, just use that as research. Just be like, okay, cool, that means I have to go back to the drawing board. Maybe I went a little bit too big, or maybe I needed to, start without a vibrator. There's vibrators, there's dildos, there's so many different types, and when you're doing your research, you will establish exactly what it is that kind of fits into the category of what you need. I basically covered most of what I wanted to cover with regards to how to establish what kind of sex toy you want to buy, and how to just feel like, it's not the end of the world if you just didn't get it right or didn't get what you were expecting the first time. I don't want people to think that orgasms are the be all and end all of sex, and I don't want people to feel that if you do involve sex toys into the bedroom, it's because you're lacking something. Like, I think the psychological rationale, the reasoning as to why you may want to have sex toys is so important. I don't know how you guys do this whole makeup thing and then have a conversation, but anyway, basically what I was trying to say is, just make sure that the psychological reasons, your sound of mind, you are not doing it based on any influence, any external influence. You're doing it because you might just have an interest. You might want to spice things up in the bedroom. You might want to add on to what you already have. You might even just be a solo person who wants to just, kind of experiment and explore their body and understand themselves from a pleasure perspective. Those are so important, but know those reasons prior, because if you can't interrogate yourself and actually understand the reason or the rationale behind why you would want to do it, you're going to fall into, doing things for the wrong reason, and it's going to not serve anyone. It's not going to serve anyone, not you, not your partner, not whoever you're engaging with, definitely not your body. And yeah, I think it's just important to be able to be real with yourself, be honest with yourself, be open, be aware and understanding, and really think about what it is that you're trying to get out of this. But overall, just kind of like enjoy understanding pleasure, enjoy understanding your pleasure, and enjoy understanding what your body needs and how your body responds, and then go back to the drawing board if need be. I have not done much, which is terrible. I'm going to continue without talking and then kind of speed up the video, and then we can get to the end and finish up.
I need you in the morning, but I need you now. Yeah, yeah. I know I give you what you need. I know what you like. I feel it coming. Tell me that the yes. I try to keep you, but I need some lessons. I need to give it up. I tried to live, but I can't. I don't know why I got the one. Drop me out of my mind. Don't need no other body. Don't need no other body. Only you feel on my body. Only you feel on my body.
Okay, so this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, just hit the thumbs up, because then it just helps people be able to find this video if they just need a beginner's guide, you know, just the first step on how to look for a sex toy. So I'm not a makeup artist, like I said, but I think I did quite a good job on my own face. My makeup routine is so like haphazard, it's all over the place. It changes every single time I learn something new on whatever app I'm on. So yeah, do what's best for you, do what works for you. This clearly is working for me, and I hope you guys just feel a little more guided and feel a little less stressed about the potential of looking for a sex toy or a sex accessory in your bedroom. And yeah, you just have an open mind. That's my final word. Have an open mind. Hit the notifications bell and hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.